We are here on beautiful Oars Island. The bright work on the boat was done by the owner's wife. This whole boat was really meticulous, and she was special, and she was cool looking. Hi there, this is Captain Q. Join us as we travel hither and yon to show you some great deals on some really interesting boats and maybe learn just a little bit with each one.
Captain!
Randy, where are you?
I'm around here.
I'm just sitting here relaxing, waiting for you.
Oh, there you
are, buddy. Wow, look at this, would you? This is so gorgeous here today.
I feel guilty for interrupting your relaxation.
I could just sit here all day. Can we just sit here all day? Could this be just
we might have to.
An all-day episode of me rocking?
It's so pretty here.
Let's go down and take a look, and I'll show you how much more pretty it is than even this. We are here on beautiful Oars Island. It's just south of Brunswick, out around Harpswell, and we're at the little Oars Bailey Yacht Club right now. This is a 1970 Mariner 40 ketch. She's fiberglass hull, wood superstructure, glassed over, and she was originally built in Japan. The design of it is done by William Garden. Mr. Garden was born in Calgary, Alberta, Canada in 1918. His family moved to Oregon in 1924, and then they made their permanent home in Seattle. He never designed a boat to a racing rule. He really designed boats that were needed for a purpose. His early designs were seiners and longliners and that sort of thing used off the Northwest Pacific coast. Those boats often had a slight curvature to the bow. You might call it a clipper bow, but he took that same bow and used that in many of his other designs. William Garden had produced drawings for over 50 boats by the time he was age 24. And then in 1942 he was drafted into the Army and ended up building freight boats and other sorts of boats. In 1946 he left the Army and opened up his own office after working briefly with Ed Monk. His name is linked with none other than Phil Rhodes in some sort of design work or redesign work on the Bounty II. After that point, Mr. Garden took off and just started designing random boats over the years. He designed this Mariner 40. They built about 95 of these in Japan. The boat developed a lot of sort of similar sisters. So if you walk into a marina and you want to have a bet with somebody and you look at a boat, and I would not bet them that it's a Mariner 40. It could be, ready for this?
Yep.
A Yankee Clipper 41. It could be a CT 41. It could be a Formosa Trader. Could be a Seawolf, or even a Sea Tiger. What we're really here today to see is the original version of the Mariner 40, which was built originally in wood. I want to show you one thing. Just follow me over here. Look at this.
Yeah, I've had a hard time not moving the camera.
I could tell you were you didn't want to focus on the diva here. But now listen, is that a bowsprit or what?
That is a bowsprit.
That's not the original bowsprit.
Oh, really?
No, the original bowsprit got tired. She was spritting so long. She'd been spritting for almost, I don't know, 40 years. So they decided, let's put a new one on this. So that's a brand new one. Now just take a look down at the length of this boat right now. She has a lovely sheer to her. The owners have done a great job of maintaining her. Look, I always love teak rail caps that are varnished. Look at the bright work on that. And look at this nice long splice right here. Look at that. And the shrouds while we're standing right here, and the turnbuckles, and the deck, everything is, this boat is really in immaculate shape. Nice little rub strake here for you. Not a big one like you really like, but you just have to practice your docking a little better with this little rub strake. And nice little detail at the transom. And she has the pin rail here underneath each of this. Now look at the wine-shaped transom here. Look at that, is that pretty? This is a full-length keel on this boat, barely cut away at the bow. The rudder's set far enough aft here. You can probably barely see it in this light, but there's a big aperture down there just before the rudder, and the rudder is a chunky piece of wooden glass. But
how much does she draw?
She's a little deep. She draws about 5'8", I think it is. She weighs 26,000 pounds. She has 9,000 in iron ballast. I think if you had all white hull, it would just look too bulky. This streamlines the thing out, makes your eye move right along the whole length of the boat. This boot stripe, it comes up right about to deck level. This is all bulwarks here. See, look at the height of this. Down from there to there. Why do we like bulwarks?
Nice and safe. Good place to plant your feet.
Exactly. We got a nice 1.25" T-track here coming down with good old-fashioned adjustable cars. Pop the pin up and this car will slide.
What does that help us do?
This helps you change the trim on your jib. By moving this car forward or aft, it'll help trim the leech especially and the foot of your headsail. They've also done a nice job here of tying this up with a nice clove hitch to hold this block up off the track so it's not making a lot of noise and banging around and chewing up this beautiful bright work. Now I understand on this boat too we should give credit to the owner's bride who is responsible for all this beautiful bright work.
Oh wow.
So
well,
we don't want you to think that some guy did this. Isn't that lovely?
That's beautiful.
Should we take a look?
Yeah, let's go aboard.
Oh, let's go aboard. Hey, Randy.
Hey.
Come on up, buddy. Look at this. I am really in the I don't know, the king's throne right here. This is.
There you are.
I have unbelievable visibility. I've got this gorgeous teak wheel with the spokes. I've got a nice binnacle compass down here and a simple GPS.
I think this is the first wood binnacle we've seen.
Good point. That is a really handsome piece down there, isn't it?
It really
It's
is.
all in character with the boat.
Tell me about this, the arrangement, because it's more of a cockpit for the feet.
It is. This is quite different, and it's unusual, and it's something you would have to get used to. Coming in, you're going to have a nice seat down here, and probably want to get a couple of cushions or something to bolster yourself against the rail out here. It doesn't have the normal combing that we're used to. I have seen a similar boat, I think it was a Mariner 32, which was a smaller version of this, where the owners had put combings in right from the end of the cabin back just to make it a little narrower.
Yeah, would that be a wet seat where you're sitting?
You know, it has breakwaters here on either side that's going to deflect water. If you start bearing the rail, sure, you're going to get wet just as you would on any boat. Yeah, you can see it right down here, right on the other side of the winch. This is an all-new engine panel down here, and that's very nice. It's only been recently put in. Now the helmsman has got a Morse control on this side of the boat. Push it forward, and then you're in gear, and then you accelerate as you move it forward. Right beside it is the kill switch, and on the other side, simple key starter. Now underneath here, here's the rack and pinion sort of thing, and look how that moves, and look how it's beautifully greased and so forth. We've seen a similar arrangement on the Allied Seawind. I'm barely touching this wheel to steer the boat. And look at the varnish work on here again.
It's really handsome.
Mrs. Mariner did a great job with this, didn't she? And even the taffrail. Look at the taffrail all the way around the back here. Think I should try that?
Yeah. Well,
You can help me get
I
it?
don't want you to get too comfortable.
Oh, that feels good.
Ah, there we go. I could actually drive the boat from here. And by the way, I'm sitting underneath a gorgeous awning with zippers in it to take pieces out and in and make adjustments to.
Yeah,
Protection.
is there a traditional Dodger?
I don't see a Dodger there because this cabin's a little tough with the mizzen mast right here.
Yep.
It's a little bit in the way.
Lockers.
Lockers. Look, they blend right in. It's hard to tell where they are and so forth. There's a little shelf here. See this line? That's nothing more than a scupper line to help clear this alley out, keep it dry below. And you think we have something like that on the other side?
Probably.
What do we have? Same rig. And here's another one of those scupper drains right there. Let's take a stroll forward.
All right.
Look at these handrails right at handrail height. Isn't that nice? On this raised part of the cabin. This is all wood and it's been glassed over. The present owners replaced all the forward triangle up here, forward of the mast. When they got the boat, they discovered some sponginess, some softness up here. And right now, this is rock solid. Nice big Samson post here. This is massive. This is really nice old schoonery type of stuff. There's a metal plate here, and I don't know what that's for, except it's right next to the chain pipe. And I have a feeling there's a windlass sitting somewhere, either being repaired or maybe waiting to be bought. Look at this, Randy.
That's what we're talking about.
Are you really jealous?
Yep.
Do you want to go up there?
I sure do.
What do you think? Are you happy? Look at that.
This is a happy place.
And look at the size. We've got a CQR here, and I think there might be a Danforth on board somewhere too. And here's just a nice little touch. This is just some wood that was put on the combing to help protect it from the chain. And look at the hawse holes here. Look at these big bronze fittings. That'll take any size line, even if you have to haul through there a big spliced eye, for example. The stanchions, these are again among the highest we've seen, coming right up to pocket level height, and they're built into massive bronze fittings down here. Now Randy, here's something we like. This is called a pin rail, and because these look like pins, and they are called belaying pins. You know why they're called belaying pins?
No.
Because you're going to belay a piece of line or some piece of sailing gear on that pin. And the beauty of these is that, especially in the old ships, in the old days, you could bring this down here and lash it around the bottom, up around a couple times, boom, 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 and then maybe throw a hitch over the top. Now that line is secure, right?
Yep.
Now suddenly the captain says, oh, we gotta drop the sail real quickly. So you just pull this pin out, you can pull it right out, and
Quick
the line
release.
would be free to handle. We're up here at the mast. Let's peel this thing off just a little bit and take a look at the sails. First thing, I'm not seeing any mildew on them. I don't see any holes right off the bat. I do notice they were made by North Sails, and one of the finer sail makers in the country. I also noticed that this name tag on here is a little faded, so I'm just going to assume that these sails have got a few years on them. The fabric is still crispy, hard, and it's a fairly heavy dacron. I'm going to guess 8 to 10 ounces probably, which is pretty heavy, and it's going to last many years.
How long could you get out of a dacron sails if you treat them well?
Oh, some people go 30 years with them. Look at this massive gooseneck fitting down here going into a beautifully varnished boom, and a sail track here for the bottom of the mainsail. It slides on these cars. Now, on the wooden spars, you can't have an internal groove, usually on a mast this size. So they would put a track on it and use metal slides to keep the sails attached to the boom. Now we have the same external track up here on the main mast itself, and this is a hollow fir spar. They had repaired some work to the spar some years ago, and I'm thinking I can see the splice right here.
This didn't have a bullet hole like Gandalf, did it?
No bullet holes on this. But you see the splice right here? Is that a problem? It really isn't. There is nothing to aggrieve anybody about worrying about a wooden spar on a boat. I noticed too, we like our square dog houses, don't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she's nicely squared off and looks just that much more shippy with that. And she's not trying to be sleek or racy. And why is there a Charlie Noble there?
Yeah, because we're going to have a little wood stove.
Exactly. Oh, side decks. Should we dance? This is pretty good. Look, I haven't gone over yet, have I? I'm close.
Not yet.
Look at our nice butterfly hatch here.
Beautiful.
Just gorgeous. And this is all finished with bronze trim around the port lights. And that feels like pretty heavy glass in there. We're back here to the main traveler. They haven't felt the need to put traveler stops on here. Again, it's not going to be a racing rig, so why bother doing that? This is just going to allow the boom to come over and sit down low when you're off the wind a little bit. And look at the main sheet. Whoa. Look at that.
Very nice.
Is that pretty?
Very tidy.
Very tidy. People just don't do this on boats anymore. Let's further this discussion below decks. What do you think?
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Come on down, buddy.
Oh, thanks.
We've got another winner here today. I don't know what happened inside this boat. I don't know if it's the fact the beam is carried so far aft, which is a big part of it, I think. It doesn't really tuck back in fast, but this is enormous. This version came out with a fiberglass hull, and they finished all the interior like a wooden ship. Look at these wooden beams. Paul Rollins would be pleased to see this, I think, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would.
She has a nice pilot berth over here that Sea Dog's taken a liking to.
That's a pretty big one, too.
It's a good one.
Really wide.
There's a pull-out settee on the starboard side, and they're nice drawers. Here, let's see what we've got in these lockers, which look voluminous. They are, and look at that. It's all vented. So you're gonna have air flowing through the whole boat. Plus you've got room for a library up here.
I think that's where you'd give me a pilot berth.
This would be a good pilot berth. We've got a hand grip above it. Also a window drip in case you get a little moisture off these port lights, which are non-opening here. But we have this giant butterfly hatch above us. Notice all the really wonderful mahogany below decks. So we have a little fold-up table right in front of me, and this is set up here so this portion on the other side will slide out and give you extra seating. And look at the width on that berth there. This is a nice 4-person boat, and you've got a good dining experience right here. Nice big stainless swing-out arm. This is designed also to drop down itself and become a double berth. And on this side, look how nicely this slides out.
Talk to me about headroom here.
Headroom. How much do you want?
And then
There has to be 6'5". Oh, here I have. Oh my gosh, I've got 7 feet. 7 feet of headroom in here. Really nice. Furnace here. It's going to burn liquid or gas, diesel or gas. A beautiful installation. Nice stainless surround here to protect things. Look at the drawers behind it. These are all set in here. They slide out perfectly. They're deep. They're huge. They go back. It's that deep. That opens up just for big can storage. I got a nice little ring locker here. Look at that. Let's take a look at her bilge. There used to be battery compartments down here, and I don't know quite what this is all about, but it's nice to have a window in your bilge, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is a wonderful, wonderful big galley. There's the headroom. Measure it. I got to bring a tape next time. Now here we have part of the refrigeration unit. What do we see here?
Nice gasketing.
Gasketing. Yes, we like gasketing. And over here we just have the day fridge.
Oh.
And what? Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
And the thing about opening all these sliding lockers, it's so interesting, is to see how well they're painted and maintained inside. We have I think it's a Force 10 propane stove, 3 burners, and an oven. And even way back in here, someplace you wouldn't want to reach while you're cooking, but keeping sugar and salt and things you want to help keep dry. More storage all the way around the side. This has got to be, what do you think?
The old pot and pan.
The old ubiquitous pot and pan storage. Look at these sinks, polished stainless. It's got little catchers down here to preserve your plates so you don't drop or break things. And right here we have a freshwater foot pedal pump. Look at the nice cutting board that fits perfectly in there. Look at that. Now what would you put in there? That would be a great place for sponges and all those wet, soggy things. Here's our circuit breaker panel. This makes me just a little nervous. Why?
It's a little close to the wet part of the cockpit.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to see that at least have a cover drop down, but that's going to pop out all your wiring's going to be right back there. These are not circuit breakers, they're fuses. Somebody might want to change that.
And you just unscrew them and pull them out?
Yeah, to get these out, you just give it a twist and pull it out, and there's your fuse. Now, over here, we need to do a lot of planning to go somewhere, right?
Yep.
And I like a nice chart table, don't you?
You sure do.
And they have a little radar unit here, and a nice little VHF underneath here. So they've got basic electronics. And with this chart table, you can go anywhere because you've got a chart, and you've got any tools you're going to want to have for navigating in the separate drawers. We have a companionway ladder here and a quarter berth. This is going to pick up. Here's a nice quarter berth you can hop right into. Look at this. Look at that Raycor filter. Is that a serious Raycor filter?
And I don't see a lot of sediment in there either.
No, no. And it's got a little drip pan. Why is the drip pan there?
Oh, when you go to change it?
You got it. A very nice quarter berth here. Should we try it?
Yeah, let's see what you got.
I shouldn't have done this so early. This is pretty comfortable, Randy. Look at this chain plate construction. Great big metal plate, doubled over fiberglass over another fiberglass in pad on the hull. And he's got a ground here for possibly for lightning. Wow. That's just one view of the new 4108 42 horsepower diesel. We've got here a bilge pump for emergencies.
How many hours on the engine?
Less than 500 probably.
Oh, wow.
It's a rebuilt engine to replace the 4107 he had. Here's some really good engine visibility, and you can reach everything. You've got your oil dipstick here. You've got your oil filter right at the back of the engine.
Oh yeah, here's the oil filter back here.
Look how clean that bilge is. And can you see the shaft?
Yep, there's the shaft, the stuffing box. You can see the fuel filters right here, or at least the secondary fuel filter here.
Got your alternator here. And down here on the face, we've got your seawater pump. Before I leave this quarter berth here, one thing I want to show you. The owner took it upon himself to move the batteries, which were originally in the bilge. Early on, they liked to put as much weight as they could down low in a boat, but putting batteries in a bilge is just not a good idea.
Yeah, why not?
Well, because if you got any kind of water in the bilge, there's a good chance you're going to short those batteries out. He's got a pretty good set of 2 banks of batteries here. Also, one other thing, notice the light in this boat. There's light everywhere. I mean, it's just port lights overhead, ton of light. Now, we have the head, right?
I think I know what this is.
Ta-da!
It's a twofer.
I love the tall handle on heads. You know why?
A lot of leverage.
Well, you got a lot of leverage, but a lot of these older, smaller ones, you're down here, your face is actually right down in the white telephone. Good storage. Oh, we're also in a shower room here, by the way. There's a nice sump down here, and we have a handheld shower. And is that a serious mirror or what?
That's a CQ.
That's a cabin Q mirror. So we have an opening port here. We do not have opening ports in the main saloon. This is a really nice, tidy head, molded in floor pan, easy to clean, hand grips up here in case you get tousled around a little bit. And it's a twofer. Now, look at this. I'm going to open it up and invite you in. And that door, look, fits perfectly into the hanging locker.
Oh, wow, that's
It's a hanging
clever.
locker door. You know how unusual it is? And we're back in Drawer City. This is a part of the compression post for the mast. Now, notice we have a great big knee and deck beam right here. And we have this post itself. And we also have another stainless piece up at the front end of about 1.5 inch chunk of teak up here, which forms the underside of the mast step. This is all wicked solid construction. Plus we've got this beam right here as well. Mast steps, people worry about the compression pushing down and deflecting the deck. There's going to be no deflection here. You have to give up something sometimes when you have this sort of construction. You will not have a Vberth filler. Can we live with that?
Yeah, I think we can.
I think we can, because we got a double berth in the main salon, and we also have a really wide lower and a really wide upper. Look at those hoses and realize that that's part of the septic system on the boat. These look brand new, fresh, and I imagine they've been redone within the last year or two. Very
How often
important
do you
to
redo those hoses? Or did you do them on the PB?
I think.
Once every 17
the PB's
years?
another story for another time. We spent a lot of time offshore. I don't think the captain should try this particularly, but we'll give it a try. We're going for it.
You can do it.
You can do it! You can do it!
I'm not certain how to navigate this one.
This is a high degree of difficulty.
This is the highest degree of difficulty. Get myself going. You do the flip over foot. You got that?
Unfortunately.
You rotate your body. I'm quite comfortable. We get to see more chain plate work. Look at the stainless here. I'd be very comfortable here. I hate it when you test me. We're going for it. Ready?
Here we go.
1, 2, we get the legs up. We get the call on deck. On deck, Captain, on deck, quick. I'm coming. I'm coming. Another successful day under the sun on the coast of Maine, looking at another surprise boat. This one has a super surprise that we did not expect. For the captain, who's 6'1", and is answering the questions for so many of our viewers, what do you have that's for 6'4"? Well, here's a boat we looked at today that would take 6'5", 6'6", and at some points as much as maybe 7 feet. And it's not a weird looking boat. It's a really cool looking boat by William Garden, built in 1970 in Japan. and fiberglass hull, wooden superstructure, wooden deck. And this boat has been meticulously cared for. The bright work on the boat was done by the owner's wife, and it was meticulous.
How would you rate this boat?
I'm going to ask you that question, Randy.
What?
Well, you'd probably give it a 10 because we know she was floating, right? What would you give it next?
Boy. I'm gonna say 7 for headroom, 4 for the bowsprit.
That's 21.
Probably another 2 for the engine access.
That's 23.
There you go.
You know, I'm going to add 5 to that because this whole boat was really meticulous, and she was special, and she was cool looking. So this is a find for somebody out there. I hope you've enjoyed watching her sail. Thanks so much, Randy. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when the next one comes out, please hit the alert bell. And that's not desperate at all. We're having too good a time doing these things, so you can hit the bell or not. Randy, how would I ever find out what's coming up next?
You can follow us on Instagram here,
Yeah.
or Facebook here. We'll have little previews of what's coming up on our next episodes a little bit early.
That's pretty cool. Previews. You all join me. I'm going to Instagram right now, and I'm going to find out what's coming up next week. Thank you very much.
You know, Instagram's not a place.